Hello, everybody. Randy Patterson here again with Boomerocity. Um, I was in high school in the 70s. I graduated class of 1977. And at the school dances, of course, we heard all the great dance music that would come out. Some of us guys prayed for them to play Stairway to Heaven so we could dance a slow dance with the girl we had our eyes on. But invariably, what always brought people out onto the dance floor and putting their best moves down that they could were bands like Kool and the Gang. And when you had songs like Jungle Boogie or Hollywood Swingin' cranking up over the speakers, people loved to rush out onto the gym floor and dance. And that's what I always think of whenever I hear a Kool and the Gang song. And it was because of that, it was always been on the short list of me to be able to interview somebody like Robert Kool Bell of Kool and the Gang. He's the Kool in Kool and the Gang. And for me to be able to talk with him was just a special honor, a special thrill, because in doing so, I was able to thank him for all those years of great music. And because that music is tied to so many fond memories of those years of our youth when we knew everything and we had our whole lives ahead of us. And now we can look back and think of all that and have a soundtrack like that was put out by Kool and the Gang. To me, it was just a special treat to be able to talk to him. So, Robert and I talk about the stuff going on with the band, some of the side projects they have going on, and you're going to love the little autobiography documentary vignettes they're putting together. Let's just say if you loved watching cartoons as a kid, you're going to love this stuff. You can see it at their website, and I'll put the link down on this page here, so you click over and watch it. So I hope you watch and listen to this entire interview because it is special. And when you're done, I hope you share it with your friends, and I hope you go and buy Kool and the Gang music again if you haven't bought it lately, because it's still great. It's still got this Kool and the Gang signature sound, and it's got a new freshness to it as well. They stay current, and they're worth your investment of time and money. So without any further ado, here is my first interview with Robert Kool Bell. Until next time, this is Randy Patterson with Boomerocity. Take care. You and the band are definitely a huge part of my high school soundtrack, man. You guys rocked our school dances when back in the 70s with Jungle Boogie and Hollywood Swingin'. I mean, the gym floor was full when that music came on. So thank you for all the years of wonderful music and the memories that were created along with that as a backdrop. So thank you, sir.
Okay, well, thank you.
So before I get into the questions, I want to offer, first of all, my belated condolences on the passing of your brother and of Dennis. That was a shock to all the fans, of course. And I'd like to welcome you to share any thoughts you'd like to share with fans about both gentlemen.
Well, my brother who played tenor saxophone was one of the key writers in the band. He came up with all those nice horn lines that you hear in Kool and the Gang's music, like for Jungle Boogie or Open Sesame. And of course, GT, we call him the Hat Man because he used to always wear those caps. And he was into Cannonball Adderley and, so those guys together, and of course the late Spike Mickens, those were the original horns, Robert Mickens. That was Kool and the Gang.
Yep. It was the signature, right?
Yep.
So I checked out your website. I love the animated segments you guys are doing to tell your story. Tell me the story behind those. I love them. I didn't realize I was still a sucker for cartoons and such. So,
well, Tia and my brother before he passed, I came up with the idea that's part of a documentary that we're doing.
right.
We decided to do the vignettes first, telling some of the story, in those vignettes about how we started and coming to my family and I coming to Jersey City, and the other guys, Dennis and George and his family, And it's turning out to be quite nice. It's leading up to an actual documentary and movie.
Very good. That's there's a big market for that, and I'm glad you guys are doing it. And I love that animation. It caught me off guard. I was expecting to see a lot of footage of each of you guys just kind of sitting there talking, but I'm kind of hooked on that animation. I didn't expect I would be. That's very clever what you guys are doing with that. I love it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Bill Cosby cartoons I used to watch when as a kid. I mean, it just grabs you, and you just can't help but be mesmerized by what you see on the screen. And so very very smart. I'm hooked. I can't wait to see the next episode.
Well, that's Tia. Tia came up with that against. I mean, of course, Tia was my brother's wife and my sister,
Hmm.
and she came up with the little animated part going back to, like you just said, we're talking, then we go to animation. We talk, we go to animation.
What's your favorite part of doing that? Were there any surprises when you guys were putting that together that you didn't expect?
Well, it was a matter of getting the different people to tell the story because Tia was interviewing a lot of people. We were on the road, and
Hmm.
she would get like Gene Red or Donald Key. When Donald Key used to pay us in the basement of the Blue Note in Bayonne, New Jersey. I think it was the Blue Note or the other one. Anyway, and he would give us $1 and talk for an hour, another dollar, talk for another hour. He said, come on, give us the money, man. We ready to go. There's a lot of different little things that happen. That was quite.
I had no idea. I mean, I all I knew you guys is by your music and just those little vignettes that I saw. I had no idea that of the dire circumstances you guys grew up in, and the and having to fight for every penny that you had coming to you and all that. Do you feel like that was foundational to your guys' success, though, to have to fight that hard and have those street smarts and that street toughness? I mean, do you attribute your success to in part to part of that?
I would say so, because when I moved, my brother, we came up from Youngstown, Ohio, that's
Mm-hmm.
the city, and surrounded by Newark and New York. Yeah, it was kind of rough. My mother sent me out to get a loaf of bread. At that time, there was a quarter called Lucy. And these two guys came up and said, give me your money. I said, give me my money. All I got is a quarter. So I said, well, I'm going to have to start dealing with reality here. You know, I'm going to have to get my act together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the whole Tamango thing and a little bit about the story. And
Mm-hmm.
finally changing the name to Kool Gang.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it that experience probably helped you in learning on how to get your money out of managers and agents and venues again, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You you live and learn, and then you learn to live.
There you go. There you
This,
go.
this age.
That's right. And to have all those gold and platinum albums on your wall too, that helped you get there. So,
Oh yeah, that's definitely an accomplishment.
yep. So you guys last year you guys released your 25th album, Perfect Union, and I love it. I mean, to me, when I listen to it, I'm struck by how you guys are still connected to that signature Kool and the Gang sound that our generation grew up with and still love, and yet you guys managed to bring in new sound with it, and it works so well together. Tell me about all that. How did that? How'd you guys pull that off, and what's the story behind that album?
Well, it came out with my brother Khalid before he passed. We were he was inspired by when Biden was running for president. When he
Mm-hmm.
was nominated, they played Celebration,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he won, they played Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
But he also spoke about the perfect union, the coming together, trying to bring the
Mm-hmm.
country together, and that's what the concept of my brother came up with. Perfect Union is the name of the album.
Mm-hmm.
With happiness, We all are pursuing happiness in some kind of way. We had songs in the past like Love and Understanding too. That was a little bit about that and who's going to take the weight back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But and that's what that was the whole concept. Songs like Moving On. And my son, he wrote a song dedicated to the ladies and also to his mother called Royalty. So that, mothers and ladies, women are royalties.
Mm-hmm.
So it all kind of came together. Then you got the song like Leaving on the Dance Floor. It's back to the Coolie Gang dance concept, but the horn lines, uh, Bruno Mars, if you're listening, them horn lines was my brother did a hell of a job with them horn lines before he passed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It must be kind of hard to for you guys to perform that with both guys gone now. I mean, you probably catch yourself turning and looking to
Yeah,
see them there, while you're doing it. Is it tough on you in those
it's tough.
situations?
It's tough. But a lot of the guys we have now, like Sean's been with us for 25 years, Curtis 30 years, been with us for a long time. They was with us when my brother and DT was there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
they kind of grew with us.
Right.
So
Right.
with the passing of them, what they learned, the guys don't have now from my brother and
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, that's what we have captured now.
Very good. Very good. How was that album different to record compared to the other 24 albums you did? I'm sure there were some differences in how you guys put it together, or do you guys use the same formula every time you record?
Well, my brother wrote most of the album, and he used the same formula to some degree because we were on the road.
Mm-hmm.
This album was being recorded when we were on the road. When we come in, all right, I need the trumpet players in, or I need trombone in, but then back on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the young guy, Walt, he a hell of a songwriter. He wrote a lot of stuff with my brother. Some people say he sounds like JT. Other people say, well, is that JT's son?
Mm-hmm.
So it all kind of, worked together. It turned out to be a good album,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. We see so many bands that have evolved, and when you compare their first records to their current records, there's a big difference. It's like totally different bands. But you guys, as I said a few minutes ago, there's that consistency. I
Yeah,
see it in Earth, Wind, and Fire. I see it with the Commodores.
right.
There is a consistency, a bedrock there of sound that is both familiar and fresh and new. There's no, some people do that and it's just sounds like the same stuff all the time. But you guys are different. How do you do that? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because I would get in a rut if I was a songwriter. It all sound the same, and I would be out of business before I was in it. But you guys just have that remarkable talent of being able to be constant and yet be new and fresh. Tell me about that, because that's mind blowing.
We have been blessed, to constantly try to we invent our will, but not losing our sound. You know,
Mm-hmm.
keeping the same, like you said, formula, and uh, and then inspiration from around the world. I mean, we travel in the past before COVID, and you see different things, and you're inspired by different music, even if you're in the Far East or in Africa or Europe. Matter of fact, we just did 20 shows in 30 days. I have
Wow.
never done that many shows in my whole career. A lot of these shows they were pushed back because of COVID, for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally went over, just got back maybe about 2 weeks ago. Played
Wow.
all over Europe. I mean, from Budapest to Czech Republic, from Bratislava, Geneva, San Tropez, England, Scotland, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a difference in the crowds now that the pandemic has lifted and you guys are out there? What are you sensing? Anything different?
Yeah, the people, they want to party again. Kids, and it's been wonderful. We were playing in front of like 10,000, 20,000, 40,000. And a lot of the summer festivals are like little Woodstocks.
Yeah, yeah.
Like little Woodstock. I said, wow, this is back in the Woodstock days. And
Hmm.
so we played over to almost 100,000 people, and we felt good. I mean, it was a little rough because we older.
Yeah.
Getting them flights and worry about whether or not your badge going to make it or problems we have with the airlines. But it was great. I feel good about
It has to be incredibly uplifting for you and the guys. I mean, you've been with the band from the beginning, but to still get that warm reception, the adulation, the appreciation of your music, that has got to just hit you, right there. What do you have to say to fans about that? Because that to me, that has got to be one of the biggest compliments a person could get, to have that appreciation for that spans 40, 50 years or more.
Well, we're thankful for that, to have that fan base who has stayed with us for so many years. In the 70s, we have a certain group of fans. I guess you call them the gang heads, funk heads. That they actually they get down on it. And, I mean, not to get down on nothing 70s yet, but funky stuff, funky man, beats and soul, wild and peaceful, Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
style. And then we have the 80s that love Ladies Night and Cherries and Fresh and all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So on our shows, we start off with the 80s and then we go back to the 70s. That crowd gets up and that's what I like about Kool. Give me that funky stuff.
Yeah.
Hollywood swinging.
There you go. That's what I'd be doing. I'd probably hurt myself trying to dance to it, but I would try. But you say that, but then I still have to go back, Mr. Bell, to to the Perfect Union album. I mean, as a fan from your first stuff that was, the first big hits, I can point to that album and be just as happy hearing you guys do that too. I mean, am I the only one that feels that way, or has the reception been that broad across the board?
There was a lot of comments when the album came out from my fan base that it was new, but it didn't leave Kool and the Gang sound. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was fresh, a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You still knew it was Kool and the Gang, but it was a little different.
Mm-hmm. Which song, for let's say somebody that's going to watch this interview after I post it, let's say some of my schoolmates from Moon Valley High School in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'd say, hey, look, remember when we used to dance to, Jungle Boogie and Hollywood Nights? You know, if you haven't heard them since then, which I'd find it hard to believe, but let's just say they did. Which song would you point them to and say, hey, look, if you like this song, you're going to love all of Perfect Union?
I would say "Leave It on the Dance Floor" is one,
Yeah, yeah,
because it has that Kool and the Gang sound to it, and
yeah.
I
I agree.
do talk about dance a lot.
Yep.
And then "Hold On."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hold On is like a positive song about don't give up. Hold on. That's something that went through. We went through. We never gave up. With our ups and downs, we want to hold on, and stay strong. And then, of course, pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Because we talk about, that uh, to continue to move, and hopefully things will get better
Yeah.
in the world today. So,
Yep.
and then
Two.
Roll, my son, my wife,
Yep. Yep.
Roll.
Pursuit of Happiness. It's too bad you guys didn't have that out a few years ago when the Will Smith movie came out. That would have been a great one for the soundtrack there.
My brother was kind of inspired by that. That's pursuit of
Yep. I
happiness.
can see that. I can see that.
Will Smith
Well,
made a big record with our song "Summer Madness."
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Time.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, what else do you have going on with Kool and the Gang? I thought I saw a bottle of something on your website or something. Tell fans about that.
Well, we have champagne called Le Kool champagne. I was touring in Europe 6 years ago, and we were playing France. And the promoter was a sold out show, about 8 to 10 cities. And the promoter said, "Well, would you like to have some champagne to sell after your concerts?" I said, "Well, I don't know if my fans want to buy a bottle of champagne after the concert. They want T-shirts and caps." I said, "But I want to get on the shelves." So he looked at me. "What do you mean you want to get on the shelves?" "Yeah, I want to get on the shelves like Moet Chandon and Berg Cole and Dom Perignon."
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with this idea with the Le Cool champagne. And I met my partners and Muhammad Loretta. We met with the Bertolo family up in Champagne Country. And we came up with a deal for them to produce the champagne. Now, that region is where they make Dom Perignon and
Mm-hmm.
Cristal and Bouvet or Veuve Clicquot. And but I wanted to break in Europe first, especially France. It's almost like the Eddie Murphy movie. Come on, they find out, oh, that's what he did. But I mean, so far, it's a very competitive business, but
Mm-hmm.
we're doing okay. We're slow walking it because every state you have to have get clearance and different regulations. You know, we're in 12 states right now, so and we're growing.
Well, good deal. Good deal. Well, I hope it goes very well for you and it's a successful brand for you. But I saw that and go, what the heck? I'm sure there's fans clamoring for that just to have a bottle to collect. You know, that would be. Do you get asked to sign some bottles every once in a while?
I'll be doing it in 2 hours. I'm on my way down now. I did a bottle sign in Orlando the other day. In between time, especially during latter part of the pandemic, I was doing more of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yeah.
Well, good deal. Good deal. What else is on your radar? What are you and the band going to be doing, say, in the next year or so?
Well, I mean, I have the Cool Kids Foundation to keep me busy.
Hmm.
My wife came up with the Cool Kids Foundation for CBS. And my son, Hakeem and Muhammad, and another gentleman by the name of Mark Goldberg is running that. That's we had our third golf outing, raising money for kids in school, because they don't have the music programs in school anymore. Lack of funding or whatever. But see, that's what helped us. You
Yeah.
know, now we go to music class, and if we like an instrument, we take it home. If we don't like it, we bring it back. How about back? Yeah, the violin, the
Mm-hmm.
cello, and I even tried the mellophone. I said, "Well, I'm not trying to play a mellophone. I ain't no trumpet player." I said, "I'll become the bass player." You know. So I'm doing that. I have another project that I'm working on for Africa. I'm working with Dusty Baker. We call it Cool Baker Solar Energy for Africa. Now, right now, he lost to the Atlanta Braves, but he's looking pretty good to get back up there to the World Series again.
There you go.
Yeah, those are some of the other things I'm doing outside of football.
Well, good deal, good deal. And of course, fans can go to the website and see where if they're gonna if you guys are gonna be playing near where they are. So when I
Sure.
post this, I'll have the link on the page so that people can know to do that. Before I let you go, Mr. Bill, wanted to ask you, when you and I are close to the same age, thereabouts, and I know we both start thinking, and you've lost family and all that, so we think about how we're going to leave this world. How do you want to be remembered, and what do you hope your legacy is after you've gone to the great gig in the sky?
Well, I hope and pray that what we've done musically and for people and the type of songs we wrote, like Love and Understanding, or most recently, Pursuit of Happiness, and um, what I'm doing right now for the kids, uh, one who he gave us all,
There you go.
and one day maybe that would be the perfect union. Maybe it's not going to be on this planet,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm looking at.
Well, good deal. Well, Mr. Bell, I want to end this as the way I started it, and that is thanking you again for all the years of great music and all the smiles that brought. I wish you and your family and the rest of the people in the band and in your organization all the best, much health and prosperity. And I hope you and I get to meet backstage at one of your shows sometime down the road. I'm going to keep an eye on your itinerary, and if you're near me, I'm going to come and see you. I promise you that.
Don't forget to bring your dancing shoes.
Yeah, well, you'll want to film that because I'll be good for some laughs on that one. But I'll bring them. I'll bring them. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, thank
all
you
right.
for having me, man.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right.